Welcome everybody to the Windy City Savage. We are live. We're back at it. It's Monday. You already know what time is it. Co-host, introduce yourself.
It is me, guys. It is the pointed man, SG3. How y'all doing tonight? Go ahead, host. Take it away.
All righty. And with that being said, Monday Night Raw kicked off with all of the faces that run the place in WWE. Roman Reigns, your OTC. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, and the cult of personality himself, CM Punk, all arrived tonight on Raw. Cut a little bit of promo back and forth, and also increased the tension going into Survivor Series War Games. Um, this promo was okay. Honestly, could have been a little bit better. Well, we already got a comment already. Okay.
Roman needs to be undisputed WWE and world champion once more. Run it back.
Does he do it though? Do you think so?
I don't think so.
I mean, look, it would be nice to see it. At this point, I really do think they need a game changer here. I don't know if they're gonna give him a title back. Maybe they'll give him a world heavyweight title instead. Because
Maybe they'll give him like an Intercontinental or US champion.
I don't know, man. I don't think he wants to go for those titles, but I don't know. We'll see. Never say never.
Yeah.
He did mention too. He did throw a jab out there saying, "I'm going after the title," and they were like, "Which title?" That's for you guys to find out.
Mm,
So it could happen. They could run it back eventually, or he might finally win the world heavyweight title. We'll wait and see. But overall, the promo was decent. Little tensions rising. Who's really captain of the War Games? In this team, who do you think is really the main guy who's going to run this team? You think it's Roman? You think it's Cody? Or you think it's CM Punk?
well, CM Punk did kind of say himself, I found myself a team, to Adam Pierce. But of course, so you insert the Big Chief, and I think Big Chief is going to take it.
Um. So what about Cody?
Man. Don't get me wrong, dude. Cody's my guy, but he doesn't have like the leadership kind of role just yet.
Well, either way, it's coming
Or
up.
hey, it could be Jimmy. I'm here over here like talking about someone else. Like, you know what, Jimmy, go ahead and take it.
I'd rather say Jay at that point. But we'll find out. Team Jay
Who's
Uso.
versus Team Paul Heyman?
That makes more sense. See, I think it's Jay in the end. Team Jay. So with that being said, we did see a couple of things tonight on Raw. We did see Dom Mysterio come out, cut a promo, and it's about to look like Cena's about to come out. We got Mini Cena with Mini Phil to the cameraman. It was great to see Dom whoop that ass. So here's the funny part. He whoops his ass, but you're waiting. You see this guy get beat up. He gets beat up.
Classic old school WWE.
Yeah, but he still gets beat up. And then all of a sudden, like 10 minutes into it, Ray finally comes to make the save. Didn't make any sense at that point. But yeah, I mean, eventually little Cena got saved by Rey Mysterio finally, and we did have a matchup between Ray tonight. That went pretty well. Same old, nothing new. Ray did pick up the win, and
Hey,
I mean, on to the next, and that would be Dom and Cena up to Survivor Series. Look, the thing is, you're not gonna get a really serious promo from Dom if Cena's not there. So this is the best they could do is comedic act, which makes a lot more sense for them.
yeah.
So yeah, we'll wait to see what happens. Another one is the women's. We did get a couple of women's promo faced off.
Becky was like, what she said, it made Nia like really scratch her hand and say, "What are you trying to say?" She's like, "I assembled the team," and Nia was like, what are you trying to say? You assembled the team."
Yeah, little tensions back and forth. Yeah, overall it's decent too. Decent promo, decent, you know, segment. This is the thing. Like, I thought it was okay this Raw, but I don't think it was as good as last week's.
I don't think it was a go home one.
Nah, I think they were kind of like there are some points where I'm like, like you kind of just it's just one of those set it forget it, and you're just kind of like, well,
For it to be a go home Raw for your big event coming, it's like, especially when you were big four, like you didn't want it to go like this.
could have been a lot better, but I mean, we got what we got. So put it this way, we got all that stuff
We saw
included.
Brock fall.
I was gonna say we did get to the main event and to the main event segment, and which is when eventually we got a little 4 versus 5 going on. Then we got the returning Brock Lesnar, which we did see earlier on Monday Night Raw. And he did fall. He did bouch. That must have hurt it. He played it off well. He continued on.
Listen,
And we did get the 5-on-5. In the end of the day, all chaos broke loose. And yeah, I mean, it was a decent Monday Night Raw. Not the best,
nah.
honestly. They could have done a lot better, but this is expected, man. I don't know. So that's the thing with this whole Triple H era. Just these Raw just seem very lackluster. You get like once in a while you'll get one or two Raws, and then after this it just gets really lackluster.
For a
But
little bit.
but for me, if your go home Survivor Series, it was boring.
I would have had this differently. You know, like last week would have been like all right, cool. But this week, like, all right, cool. We're gonna go for the go home. Like, really make people want to tune into this. You know, especially tune in Friday, tune in Saturday, and it was like you didn't do anything.
Last week seemed to go home. This
Yeah,
week doesn't seem like it. Just seemed like the rewind. It seemed like last week you got your what would you call it? You got your Target brand, and then this week you got your Dollar General.
literally.
Yeah, we got another comment.
Kind of the same close this week as last week. All we had was Roman came out for the first this time, and then Lesnar after versus last Monday. They love cutting the show off when the action's picking up. That's true.
Yeah, they cut it off during the end when they start fighting each other. Honestly, that's probably the best part of the night when they're finally going 5-on-5, and it's like, all right, let's cut it off. It's time for us to not watch the rest of it. Um, so with that being said, look, let's just get into it. Prediction wise, for Survivor Series this Saturday. All right, let's get into it. Let's go off with the first match prediction. Let's just go with the first prediction match. Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella. Just so you guys know, Nikki Bella was asked about, how long she has her future in wrestling, and this is her final run. She does
Thank
admit it.
God. I mean, oh, how sad.
Yeah, she does admit that this will be her final run. And, she has a good career. I don't think she has nothing to be ashamed about. She's gone further than a lot of women in this promotion. Whether you like it or hate her, she is good for what she was, at her time. She was good heel. She did get a lot of attention. She was very over, and she was very popular with the Totals Divas and her own show at the time. But Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella for the singles match for the Women's World Championship. Who do you have and why?
Um, as sad as I'm gonna say this to say this, I don't want to say the name, but I see it actually heading this way. I see Nikki Bella winning it,
Well,
and that was only because it's her final run.
Hmm.
And I feel like if they do it this way, I would love for Stephanie to win. Personally, I would love for Stephanie to win. It builds her name, and builds off the legend that is Nikki Bella, whatever legend there is still left there. But honestly, it does build off a lot off of there. It helps her like build a resume to continue as champion. But the moment that they're gonna give it to Nikki is like, yes, you're doing it for the legend. However, though, it's like you're not respecting Stephanie for everything she's done. You push her down, you push her straight up like so quickly, so fast, becoming champion, and then for what?
Well, they had to. They had no choice. Because of the whole
Naomi
Naomi
thing,
incident. Yeah, it's not like they really. I don't think they wanted to. I think at the time she had to. All right, so I can see what you're saying there. I'm gonna go with Stephanie just because I don't see Nikki. If that's the case, I don't see Nikki winning this one. I see them running it back, and I see Nikki winning it the next one. But that's just me. We do have a comment for this.
I believe that they are going to pull off some twin magic when Brie rolls in the ring when the ref isn't looking to win the title for Nikki.
That could happen, but as so far we haven't had any mention of Brie coming back to wrestling. We did had it quite a while back, but I feel like when she saw her sister wrestle and bouch a couple of moves that she probably changed her mind. Like maybe I should sit this one out. Could it happen though? Yeah. Twin magic, we haven't seen that in a while. If we see the return of AJ Lee, why wouldn't we see the return of Brie Bella at certain points? I could see that happening. I don't know. My guts just say I'm gonna stick with Stephanie Vaquer. So we got 1-1. So Stephanie and Nikki Bella, I just see a clean matchup. Stephanie wins, looks strong, but I do see it running back. I don't see it just one and done type of thing. I do see it going
Either way,
back.
they're gonna run it back.
Yeah, they're
It
gonna run
doesn't
it
matter
back.
who wins. It does
Yeah,
not matter if it's Stephanie or Nikki. They're gonna run it back.
because they got nothing else right now going on for
Literally.
that whole storyline. So the next one, I would predict this was gonna be like one of these war games inserted. So I'm gonna go with the women's one.
Yeah.
We got Rhea, Io, Lexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and AJ Lee with one side versus Nia Jax, Lash Legend, the Kabuki Warriors, and Becky Lynch. Alrighty. Who do you have and why? Heel versus faces. What side are you on? I'm predicting on this one. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the faces. I'm gonna go with Rhea, Io, Bliss, Charlotte, and AJ Lee. I don't see I just don't see the team of Nia, Lash,
Kabuki.
Kabuki Warriors, all them beating this fucking unstoppable team. I mean, but then again, it's hard to say because you're bringing up Lash Legend for her to get kind of squashed
And
on.
and dude, she's a monster.
Well, yeah,
Did you know she did what she did to Eagle today?
yeah, I seen it. I mean, I seen her in NXT. She's a beast.
That is, she's a straight up beast. We do have a comment. Alexa Bliss turns on Charlotte after they win.
Oh, you think so?
Um, I was actually gonna say more. I think that maybe Charlotte turns on Rhea after they win.
Rhea?
Yeah, like Charlotte turns on Rhea, and then also maybe even turns on Bliss.
I don't know. One of them might turn, might not.
But I go face.
So
I go
you're
face.
going face.
Yeah.
You think there'll be a turn? It's a good question, honestly. Do we see a turn at all? I could see, yeah, I could see either Charlotte or Alexa Bliss. Um, that's tough to say. I'm not gonna lie, that's tough to say. I just don't see the heels winning this one. Nia Jax, Lash
Nah.
Legend, Kabuki Warriors, and Becky Lynch. But I might be wrong. I don't know. For AJ Lee to come back and lose in this type of match, it'll be shocking. So,
Who takes the worst bump? I'll ask you that
uh,
question. Who's gonna take the worst bump from here?
who?
Yeah.
Who?
Who's gonna take the worst bump?
That's what I'm saying. Who you got?
Becky.
I'll say Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think she's gonna take the worst one, or Nia Jax. Usually Nia Jax is using that comedic road sometimes, so I could see her take the worst bump of them all. So, who does the craziest shit?
Io.
Charlotte Flair.
Mhm.
Moonsault from the top of the cage. She's done it before. She'll do it again. I can
Don't
see that
forget, Io has
happening.
put the trash can on her head and actually fallen off the top.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll give it to Charlotte just because I feel like this is more of her style matchup wise. So I don't know. Me personally,
Maybe it could be both of them.
could be, but I don't know. I don't think they want too much star power in there. Let's go to the third one. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
No,
you
you're
off.
good.
All right. John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship rematch. Dom's looking for to get his title back. Do you think he wins it back, or you think Cena still retains?
I want Cena to retain, believe it or not. However, though, I feel like Dom's gonna win.
I think Dom wins. I think Dom does pick up the win and he beats Cena. Look, I don't know. Me personally, I think this is the best for business moveset.
Yeah.
Just because doesn't make sense for Cena to hold the title all the way since his retirement. And he needs to put over Dom. Like he wants to help the future. This is the best way to help the future at this
Literally.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I see Dirty Dom picking up the win. I do see some assistance from somebody.
I was about to say, do you see an adjustment there or luchadors?
I don't know. Maybe we'll get someone new.
Bro, who do you think?
I don't know. Someone that we haven't seen quite a while, maybe.
Liv Morgan, maybe?
Nah. I think she's not due till Royal Rumble.
They're saying actually before they're trying to push her to come in for to build her up to Royal Rumble. Like not actually have her in the match, but like do like a couple promos for like before she comes back.
Maybe, but I don't see her coming out for this. It just seems too soon. I don't know, but I'll just go with the new surprise myself personally. Any other thoughts on this though?
Maybe even Roxanne Perez helps him out because she's never kind of tried to help out them.
Yeah, I could see that actually. Roxanne making a scene, maybe they'll get a lot closer from this, and makes a lot of issues with the
Turning Liv Morgan, yeah.
Yeah, which makes more sense because you're trying to build tension. Honestly, this whole Judgment Day stuff, It's just getting kind of
It's
boring.
comedic, it's funny, but at the same time, just stop it.
Is it though? Because like
They have
every
they have a good couple laughs here and there. And
barely.
I'm saying all the time. They have a couple here and there, but nothing like they used to before.
I mean, barely. To me, it's barely. To me, it's just like, are we gonna turn? Are we gonna move on? Because at this point, it's just getting same old every week. We get the tensions rising, and nothing ever
It's the
happens.
constant flipping that's been like that's really killed the storyline.
Flipping though, like what kind of flipping?
Basically like flipping like who's gonna turn on who, what's gonna happen, who's gonna turn out, who's actually gonna get out the judgment day first, who's gonna just sanction the whole thing,
But
who's gonna
that's
be
the
the new
thing.
leader. Like it's like
There's no flipping because we haven't had nothing of that. We just got it
well we
teases.
got to tease. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like the constant teasing is like getting annoying to some fans.
I don't think it's getting.
It
It
is.
is. It is annoying. I'm getting tired of it. I don't want to see Judgment Day anymore. Just like I didn't want to see the Bloodline still be a thing because I thought that was overplayed. And I get it. We're still gonna have like little, shout outs to the Bloodline. That's fine if you want to have Roman and the Usos still in it,
Sami Zayn
but for like Sokoa and all them, it's
and
just
the
getting kind of
MSTs.
boring. The MSTs is just
But
getting all boring.
speaking of Sokoa, we wish a really, really speedy recovery to Penta. Whatever happened to him tonight, I don't know what happened. It didn't show the move, but the match was called off against Solo for an apparent injury
I
to
think it
Penta.
was when they went outside and then the
Yeah,
spot. Yeah,
I
I
think
think
when
that's
he
when he
did
got
the spot,
injured.
yeah.
Yeah, but we'll find out more to come later on. Yeah, so hopefully things are all right. Maybe it's just a little sprain. Hopefully nothing too big.
Hopefully nothing too big.
Yeah, so we'll find out. But yeah, overall, dude, this is just getting annoyed. I just hope from here on Dominic moves on to bigger and better things because this whole Judgment Day thing is just getting really boring to me. And it's just going nowhere for him in his career. Alrighty, sorry about that, folks.
We apologize.
Yeah, we're back. Couple of comments, real quick. Go ahead, read
Couple
some.
comments. EO Sky with the trash can. I was actually there for that War Games. I believe Braun Breaker going to spear someone through the cage. Maybe after the victory, I can see it happening, but not before.
What if he does though? That's not going to be a disqualification?
I thought it was when you left the cage, like it was an immediate disqualification. Because how is it going to land?
But I mean, how did they both come out? Who do you disqualify there?
I don't know.
That would be a crazy spot though to see. Honestly, I'm gonna stick with them. I think he does do that. Who does he do it to? Jimmy.
Jimmy, yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Poor Jimmy. You're not big enough to, not get speared. I mean, fortunately, you're the least mid carder in that whole group.
Literally. The next one was I have Tom and Nick Mysterio winning this one.
Okay.
Yeah, we be seeing JD and McDonald all the time.
Honestly, we do, yeah.
And Spear Jey Uso.
Okay, so you want to see Spear Jay. I'm going to say Jimmy, so I'm going to go with Jimmy. I can see Jay, though. Yeah.
I can see Jay, but I see more Jimmy.
Just because he's the less of the bunch. He's not much of a main event. I mean, Jay is literally main event, Jey Uso, but...
I mean, that's why he got pinned today.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, Jimmy was the one that got pinned today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jimmy's the basically the scapegoat.
Mid-card Jey Uso.
I don't disagree, but in WWE's eye, he's main event. She still sells T-shirts, so in that case,
T-shirts.
Main event, still main event. But okay, so in that prediction, and that said, who do you have? The faces, the heel. You have Division, or do you have Roman, Cody, the Usos, or CM Punk going over?
I'm gonna go. Screw it. Pre-show Jey Uso, entrance Jey Uso. That's all he's good for. I'm gonna go with the heels. Sorry, I was gonna say faces of the heels. I'm a bit different on this one. I'm gonna go heels. Reason why you really want to establish division as a faction. Excuse me. You really want to establish division as a faction. Really want to establish them as something that actually is growing. Let's put it. Logan Paul is part of division now. At this point, this is just only going to elevate them. You have the association with Brock Lesnar and with Drew McIntyre. Both of them are kind of like on a bad streak. Raise them up even more. Like I see, it benefits more the heels than the faces, because on the face side, you're just going to get storyline after storyline after storyline. Heels, what do you really get?
I mean, I think it just elevates Bronze and and Logan
and Bronson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bronze. Bronze, Logan. I mean, Drew. I think Drew just after this, it's a one-off thing. I think he goes back to SmackDown. They'll get that fixed eventually because he's only suspended for a while. So eventually that storyline will continue back for him in SmackDown. Brock, he's not going to stick around. We already know that. We'll probably see him back in Royal Rumble season. But yeah, I mean, otherwise this just elevates the three guys mainly, the four if you count Paul. So I could see the heels winning this one. I don't see the faces because of all the tensions that they're going with who's really the captain of the group. And I think that's going to cost them, as well as Jay getting some heel tendency, and maybe Jimmy, gets caught in the middle of all this and gets the spear from, Braun himself. And all this because no one will get their shit together. This is the results of it.
Jimmy is a sacrificial lamb. Sorry, Jimmy.
Any crazy predictions though besides the spear? A splash. The top goal. We got Ree going all the way to the top and going for the splash once again on the table.
A tsunami.
Yep.
That's a nice one.
What else we got? Logan Paul.
I got Logan Paul doing some crazy ass dive.
The guy
probably even off the cage.
Yeah.
It would be nice if he does his splash along with Bronson Reed.
Could be.
Bronson does the tsunami, then Logan Paul does whatever splash, the frog splash he does.
No. It has to be Logan first. And then because
I'm saying like that move, but not in order. So basically Logan first and then Bronson.
Because you want to finish off the right way, with big man going over on that one. Anything else? Do we see
who gets the brass knuckles?
I mean, there would be Logan to me.
No. I'm saying, who does Logan hit the brass knuckles with?
I would say Roman on that one.
I was going to say Roman as well. Roman's coming in for Superman punch and then just power like a punch.
What else we got here? What other crazy movesets we could say? How many crossroads does Cody take to try to beat somebody?
15.
I give him 7. 7 crossroads, and he doesn't do anything with none of them. This crossroad is not protected in the industry at all.
Not anymore. No. Actually, never was.
Does Paul Heyman try to interfere on this one? I don't see it.
I see him probably throwing a chair or something.
Could be. But then again, that steel cage is locked up, so he would have to open it.
Or he would have to climb up it. And
I don't doubt he's going to man it. That penguin ass dude ain't going to climb up.
He doesn't have the strength to literally climb it.
I don't think he ever did.
Or even the strength to throw it over. So never mind. Yeah, he's not going to interfere.
No, he's not going to interfere. Maybe afterwards he'll do something, but not during the match. Who gets besides who's getting the pin? Who bleeds? Someone's going to bleed.
Cody.
First one?
Cody.
Okay.
He's already cut up. You already saw that's why he has the gash above his right eye already.
Yeah.
Cody's gonna bleed.
Yeah, I seen the makeup too.
That was coming out today, so yeah, there's that. Cody's gonna bleed.
Anything else? Any other wild predictions?
Does Jay finally turn? Oh, who gets pinned? Who gets pinned?
Roman's gonna do he's gonna sell it. He's gonna do it for everybody because so put it this way, whoever pins Roman goes over, and Roman is a team player and he's trying to elevate the next class. It doesn't make sense for CM Punk to get pinned or Cody. They're both champions. You don't want that.
You gotta protect your champions.
Yeah, you gotta protect your champions. So Jimmy's gonna get annihilated. Doesn't make sense for him to get pinned. Jay doesn't make sense at all for him to get pinned. It makes more sense for Roman to lose this one, make him look weak. And whoever pins him, even if that's Bronson Reed, it's going to make him look great. It's going to elevate the next guy. It could be Braun Breaker. Yeah. It could be even Logan Paul. I don't think Brock needs it.
Nah.
I don't think Drew McIntyre needs it as one of these 3.
You know what? I was going to say, actually, I feel like if Jay decides to turn finally, like if it's finally his time to turn, Jimmy gets pinned and Jay just gets pissed. He's like, "Oh, you cost us this, you cost us this, you lost us this, you lost us this. I'm done with it," and just kicks him. Just starts beating him up for no reason. And then there goes your heel Jay. Finally.
I don't know, man. I mean, I see what you mean by that. I just don't feel it though. They kind of just like They haven't done anything heelish. He hasn't done anything heelish this Monday. You see anything heelish from Jay?
Nah, it's past one. That's what I'm saying.
the
Like,
thing.
it's like when you least expect it, that's when it finally happens.
Or we don't. We just get another tease like Judgment Day.
Yeah, pretty much all
No.
damn for the rest of the year.
That's what I'm saying. Do you really expect WWE to do anything at this point?
Nah.
If he's selling T-shirts,
Yeah.
at this point, I don't think it's gonna happen.
I mean, hey, you know what though? I mean, not even on the same level, but hey, Roman when he was selling T-shirts, so maybe Jay still does.
Yeah, Roman was selling though the OTC T-shirts. That was a lot different. He was selling the heel T-shirts, but at
Needle
this
mover, all that stuff.
that was some heel stuff he was selling, but it's not the same level as Jey Uso selling stuff. Sorry, excuse me very much. So put it this way, we go on to the next one, and we're gonna talk about this interview that Tony Khan did on Ariel Irani. All right, these guys do have bad tensions to each other for quite a while,
For years.
Yeah, so shots were fired. Ariel Ronnie did say some stuff to Tony Khan, vice versa back. To see the guys go on an interview together was kind of shocking when I first heard about it, but it happened. And I watched some of the interview, and my main overall opinion about all this is that Tony Khan does look a lot better when it comes to interviews, like he's starting to realize that he doesn't want to go off the script. I'm sure someone talked to him, or maybe he looked at the videos out there of him and be like, you know what, I can't be acting crazy. I can't be saying some stuff.
I can't be coked up anymore.
I don't know about all that. That's not my thing to say, but like the point is though, he's more calm. He gave more corporate responses, and he did give responses that he really had no other choice the way to go. I think a lot of people were expecting more controversial things.
Yeah.
I did see some people bash him, but in the end of the day, it's like, what is he supposed to say about certain things? So one of the things is the whole merger or the whole selling of AEW in case if Warner Brothers sells and whoever buys it, are they going to keep keep AEW Dynamite around, and as well vice versa, the collusion? And he gave your basic response, like, well, Warner Brothers and us, we have a great relationship. We're doing business too with DC, which they are.
Yeah.
And all this. He gave that very corporate answer, and he always said he has friends in other, networks as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, all I gotta say is this: look, in the end of the day, do you expect this guy to say, "Oh yeah, we're fucking nervous"? No, of course not. It makes him look weak. There's nothing else he could say for this.
He did address the show, what WWE is doing. What's it called again?
Counter programming.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking.
Well, he addressed it saying it's competition. Like, we expected them to do that.
Yeah.
And once again, that's the right answers. Is that in the end of the day, this is what's going to happen. He understands it. He has no shame to admit it. Like, it's going to happen to us. Does he like it personally? I doubt it. No one's going to like it. I mean, no company on their shoes would have liked it if that's the case, but it happens. It's the way of wrestling business. So he's been doing this for years. So they expect this type of stuff. Mm-hmm. He was also asked about Adam Cole and his situation, and he did kind of teared up a little bit. Like, you could tell he was, holding back some tears. And he said, I'm not sure what's going to happen to him. And he did, talk about Adam Cole doing that speech that day and how important that was when he relinquished the TNT title. And he says, I'm not sure if he'll ever return back to wrestling, but if he ever does, he's always has a place to return. And if he doesn't, it's been a great run. He's had a great career. And things are not looking certain for Adam Cole. And it does look like he may be retiring in the end of the day.
I can see it, though. He's had so many concussions. It really does affect him.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's just the reality of the world. There's nothing to be ashamed about if that's the case. It happens. You're in the wrestling business. It's better to retire with your health, with your speech, with everything still intact. He's done a lot. He's done a lot more than some wrestlers could even say. Very talented. Yeah, one of the most talented wrestlers out there. So look, whatever he decides in the end, we wish him the best of luck to Adam Cole as well. So hopefully we'll see him back in the ring, if at least for a retirement speech for sure.
Yeah. To become somebody's manager.
Yeah, we got one here.
Maybe he will be a comeback story like Edge 10 years later.
Could be. I mean, look, Edge was in the same boat, dude. Edge was supposed to not even wrestle again, and he did say that. But things do change, and he did get a second chance. Thank God. Things are a lot different though now. And Adam Cole, for his situation, should just tone it down in wrestling if that's the case. But
I mean, Daniel Bryan, if you think about it, Daniel Bryan's in the American Dragon.
Yeah, and he had to tone it down too. He
So
wasn't as crazy.
It could happen with Adam Cole.
Look, we'll see in a couple of lines. Oh, speaking of Adam Copeland, as well, Tony Khan did ask about the whole. Did WWE approach you guys for a final match with John Cena? WWE approached you guys for that? Tony Khan said no. It's like not at all. So all these rumors that Adam Cole was going to return and all this could be put to rest, obviously. Because look, it's not going to happen. Nah, WWE's not going to reach out. And honestly, if I was Tony Khan, even if they did, I would just refuse the offer real quick. Because WWE's just been throwing jabs at them, and at this point, it's not really worth it. Adam Cole is contracted with AEW for the foreseeable future. Right now, he's going out and filming, doing some copy. I think he's doing a movie role. But Tony Khan says when he's ready to return, we'll be ready and we'll get him a storyline going. So overall, man, this whole interview, it just seems a calmer version of Tony. He's a lot more likable on camera. It doesn't seem like there's any tension between him and Ariel Arani, which is good.
Very good.
What do you think overall of this Tony now, this version of Tony that we're getting?
More corporate, more clean cut, more straight to the point. Not looking so crazy at it anymore, which is good. I like the fact that he's calling out saying, you know what, guys, we're actually getting better numbers than what you guys expected us to have. We're getting closer. We're closing on the gap between WWE and us. So, hey, we're actually going. This is a great run we're having. So I'm liking that. The way they talked again, he seemed calm, cool, collected. I like the fact that he brought up the whole tension between them a couple years ago, and he addressed it like, you know what, cool. Brought up the CM Punk thing. I thought he was going to blow up his mind and like say, man, fuck you, straight up, man, walk off. But he was like, you know what, dude, I like talking to you. You were doing this, and now there's a part where you got to ask the questions. Cool. I'm ready to answer these questions, though, and let's move forward with it.
Yeah, that's basically what he was saying. He did mention about the CM Punk, and when he was asked, he's like, look, I would have liked to continue to fix things and continue working with Punk. Obviously, we didn't see eye to eye at the time, and it happens. We both are in a better place now. And the locker room's in a better place. And he did talk about that whole scrum and everything. And they did ask him, like, okay, Tony, do you think it was a good idea for you to release the film? He said, look, at the time, I just showed it, and the film spoke on itself. This is what he said. He's like, I think it did its job. We did pop a good number. People did tune in. And look, even if we don't agree, about the whole situation of him showing the video, and they haven't popped that same number since that time, because they haven't popped a million views since the whole CM Punk video. Since then, look, even we don't disagree, he still gave out that corporate answer. It's good enough for me in my books. He was also asked about how does he feel seeing
CM Punk, Ricky Saints, Jade Cargill, and Cody Rhodes
all in one pick. And he said, look, I'm happy. I'm proud of it. He did mention about a picture that he took with Cody Rhodes and Jon Moxley a couple of years back on his phone. He said, remind me of that to remind me of where we're at, from there till now. I'm happy for all of them. I'm glad they did that. And, they did put out that picture for a reason. And that is to throw a jab at Tony Khan. That's what it was. It wasn't.
I mean, if you think about it, though, it's also like kind of like we're sticking it to you, just like you stuck it to us. Because for years it was like, cool, CM Punk was this, Moxley was this, and it's like, unless you are a diehard fan and you've been watching this for years, you still remember Dean Ambrose, you still remember the 2011 CM Punk run, you still remember all of that stuff. So it's like, of course you remember that. But if like we're watching it again, like just recently again, after like many years and not tuning in, to you was like, wow, look, he brought him in, nothing huge. But it's like, dude, we remember.
What are you talking about though? Like, what are you talking about? What about Jay Cargill, Saints?
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like basically like it was like a tit for tat. Like you guys did it first, now it's our turn.
I think it was more just a jab. In my opinion, it's more of a jab to like, as in you fumble, because that's where the whole Tony fumble thing came about. It was really when they released that picture.
At first, it was Vince fumbled. Remember when CM Punk came back? It was like Vince fumbled here and here and here, and now it's vice versa.
I don't think it was Vince fumble. I think it was just the whole CM Punk and hatred for WWE at the time. It was a whole different story, but yeah, I think it was just a straight up jab.
Oh, yeah, of course it was.
Yeah, and I really do think that Tony Khan, there's no way you could really say anything better than how he said it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, in the end of the day, it's like, yes, it was a whole Tony fumble, but I think the way he answered was the best way you can answer in that situation.
Oh, and the fact you're all backs against the wall.
Yeah, like, it is what it is. It happened. I think out of all those people, he really did want to keep Jade Cargill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he really cared much about Ricky. He understood the Cody situation. CM Punk had to go.
Yep.
And at that point, he really would rather kept Jade Cargill, but it just didn't work out. Because even he did ask Jade Cargill, like, put it this way, look, whatever number WWE's offering you, I'll match it. Just give me the number. She gave him the number. He matched it. In the end, she's like, you know what? I really do want to go. And Tony's like, all right, cool. Because Tony did want her to stay. Personally, I think she did a lot better for me in AEW than she did in WWE. But that's just me. I don't know. They build her up a lot better in my eyes.
They did. There's another one. Tony certainly lied quite a bit in that interview. Can't wait for MJF to turn up on WWE TV.
What did he lie about? Just curious. I mean, I think he just avoided a lot of questions asked on that interview. He gave that corporate one. I mean, what did he lie about? I was just curious. Can't wait for MJF to turn up on WWE TV. Honestly, I don't know if I see it. Like, put it this way. MJF is gone right now because he's doing a lot of Hollywood stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of movies. I don't see MJF maybe going to WWE at all. I think he might be done in wrestling for quite a bit. Like, he'll probably still continue in AEW. He's getting paid really good money. He has a freedom to do whatever he wants outside of AEW. He goes to WWE. There's only so much he could do, and if he keeps landing movie roles, we all know he has a background in acting, you know, as a child, and he's good at it. So if he gets recognized more from movie roles, he might just pursue a career in Hollywood and he pays him a lot better. Why not? You know, people are still going to remember him from, you know, wrestling and all. So that'll be good for him if that's the case. Do I see him eventually? Maybe, but I don't think anytime soon yet. Nah. I mean, Tony's just owing him a crazy amount of dollars. Why would he want to sign?
Literally.
Any other thoughts about all this?
That's it so far. I mean, again, like I said, he answered it very corporate, very clean cut, very nice. Looked clean cut, looked the part. You know, it was a really, really good interview. I mean, in my eyes, I've heard people saying, "Oh, he dodged a question." Yeah, like you answered every single question on that you in an interview. You've answered every single question your employer or someone else is throwing at you. Of course not.
I mean, how many times has Triple H dodged questions on interviews? I mean, hell, the worst thing I heard Triple H say this year was that
we listen to the fans. We don't listen to the fans.
Yeah, the fans don't know. Fans is just like the stuff that we give out. You know, that product, that whole like they don't know what they like. They just understand what we give them is what they should like. But what is this way? Look, we had another interview, and we got the old man back at it again. We had Bret the Hitman Hart talked about a few things in the wrestling business. All right, let's talk about one. Sheamus doesn't like the way he throws a punch. That one shocked me because I heard nothing but good things. I watched Sheamus for many years. I praise the guy. I think he's one of the best wrestlers in the industry.
He really is for his age and his height and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Still strong for all these years. Still a vet. Look, does this punch maybe is a little different than Bret Hart standards? I get it. It's just hard to agree with this man. And I think Sheamus is a big Bret Hart fan. So I think this one's gonna hurt him a little bit. But look, in your opinion, that being said, do you think Bret was wrong for him to say that, or do you think he's on the right for his opinions?
Firstly, everyone's entitled to their opinion. So whatever your opinion is, say it. For example, us. You love us? Tell us. You hate us? Tell us. If you don't like me, tell me. You don't like him? Tell him.
I didn't like you.
and I don't like you either.
Okay,
so
good.
that's why we're still here. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, though, it's like you're entitled to your own opinion. Number one. Number two, though, it's like you could take it as one of two things. Yeah, I'm gonna take it as a painful blow because this guy's like a hero to me. I grew up watching this guy. I grew up like really like wanting to be like him.
Okay.
Or you can take it as constructive criticism and say, you know what, cool. Brett doesn't like my punch. How can I get my hero to like my punch?
I like that. Yeah.
So it's like you have two paths now to take. And don't get me wrong, yes, Sheamus is at the tail end of his career, but you can still salvage that little spot that you want to salvage.
So put it this way, just to remind you of the time where Bret Hart did comment about Gunther's chops, about how you cannot win a match with just chops alone.
Have you not seen what the chops do?
Yeah, which is kind of funny. Like you said though, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Look, in the end of the day, Bret Hart is a vet. Bret Hart's probably considered one of the best wrestlers of all time. So look, for Sheamus, he could either take it, like you said, two ways. In this case, for me, I would just be like, all right, he doesn't like my thing. Either I keep it the same or, like you said, I improve it. I think Sheamus is not going to be a phase out of all this. And a lot of people stick by him. Because, like I said, Sheamus is one of the most liked vets out there right now in the game.
Yeah.
And one of these days, he's going to be gone from WWE pretty soon. So when that day comes, we're going to feel it. We're going to feel it, man. Celtic Warrior still going strong. So let's just hope for the best and let's just see, you know. Tony Klein
had AEW had closed the gap with WWE after one Strong Blood and Guts episode, even though viewership dropped under 500K the very next week. He also insisted millions were watching AEW on streaming platforms like HBO Max, but admitted he didn't have verified numbers, which came off as inflated.
First one, I agree with you about the blood and guts and 500K. That is true. Second one, the thing is though, like I don't agree that they have millions. I don't think though anybody but HBO has those numbers. And do I think that they gave them any of that info? No, not at all. Because I think if they would even had some of the info, even if they had, let's say, 250,000 watching, I think they would have released that info by now. But nobody seems to have any info besides HBO Max, and I don't understand why no one's giving out that info to them. But who knows? I mean, that's just kind of odd in a way.
He blamed Nielsen's new rating system for the decline, even though WWE shows didn't suffer the same steep drop.
Actually speaking, I heard they actually did. I've been hearing a lot of complaints that WWE too is suffering the same issue that AEW is claiming to, and that is on the 18 to 49 demographics. They've been talking about this whole Nielsen rating is not really good for viewerships right now, because I think WWE is suffering the same issue, and WWE has dropped a little bit on viewerships, on SmackDown especially. But I think they're saying the same thing, that it has to do with the new rating system and how this was going to affect them since the start of it, because this is just new to the whole industry right now. But I don't know. We'll wait to see more on that. But look, does Tony kind of, throws a little bit of lies here and there? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course.
Yeah, like I said, who in their interview hasn't lied before? Who in front of a boss somebody lied?
Look, I don't think he does millions on the HBO Max platform. I do think he's just inflating numbers. He has to, man. He has to sell the fucking product. Look, his company might get, the Warner Brothers might get sold. His company might be out of action. He has to sell it to the next fucking platform.
And you gotta sell as best as you possibly can.
I do think they hit about 100,000 on that platform, HBO. I do think there's probably like 100,000 watching. I don't think it's even 250,000.
So yeah, every phone rise to an extent.
Yeah, it's 100,000. Maybe he just forgot to take away at zero.
Couple zeros.
A couple of zeros there. Nielsen ratings, we're gonna have to see how that goes, because like I said, I thought I heard that WWE SmackDown is suffering the same.
SmackDown is suffering a lot, dude.
And
it's funny. I don't think that they've released the Netflix numbers.
Well, I don't think the Netflix number gets affected by the Nielsen, but I know it affects them from the 18 to 49 demographics, which is odd. Every promoter lies to an extent. Well, I think they all lie way over the extent. I know Vince has lied a lot.
What? Saint Vincey? Come on, man. Saint Kennedy McMahon? Come on.
Mr. Bischoff himself has lied.
What?
Jim Cornette and his promotion.
What?
They ain't even watching that shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Don't you see Jim Cornette? Man, he's got a room full. He's got like a library upon wrestling and everything, man. That man's a saint. He doesn't lie.
I don't think he lies now. I think when he had a promotion, obviously, he probably did push a lot more lies at that point. I mean, Paul Heyman is notorious for lying on the ECW. Look how that turned out. It went out of bankrupt. You know, I wonder.
What inning we are in according to Triple H? Bottom of the fifth.
I don't know, man. Triple H got to get it together. Look, Tony Khan and Triple H need to figure this shit out by next year because none of them are doing well. I think Tony Khan has a lot of issues that he needs to address. I don't understand why Ariel didn't ask him the questions like, hey, can we get some better writers? Can we get some better, situations going on? Because he did ask him how everything is worked out. And Tony Khan says it all runs through me now. And Ariel should have been like, well, why don't you get some writers? Maybe that way you could promote the stuff better and people could write the show for you. Because you can tell he does write a lot of this stuff. It's just very, it seems like very TikTok age type of thing. What else did he put? Paul Con artist.
Paul Con artist. Him.
Yeah.
Maybe if Tony brought in Vince Russo, they would have a good God.
Nah, I think Russo would have killed the business even quicker.
Bro. Man drops more bros than Zack Ryder.
I mean,
Dump the woo.
do I think he's responsible for the Attitude Era? Oh, hell yeah. But that
I wouldn't
crash,
say that much.
he was though a big part.
But I know he was a big part, but I'm saying, like, I don't think that much of a big part.
I mean, he was the main writer, so I think look, at the time that Crash promotion did work, but at the same time, you could have hit your peak and that's it, At that point, there's only so much you could do. He tried it again, and it just didn't have the right people around him. I mean, you went to a shit show WCW, and look how that turned out to be. Who's a good writer, you think? Could have done better. I think if they got Jim Cornette to agree to show up in AEW, I think he does wonders.
Yeah.
I don't think Paul Heyman does wonders there.
No.
No.
I don't know if you've seen, but Chavo Guerrero got signed by WWE recently.
Yeah, I saw that, but I think it's more for a backstage role.
No, I thought it was going to be more for Ready.
Okay, so another thing. It looks like the AEW and NWA power situations has been squashed.
That's good.
He was asked about the title, the national title. It looks like they reached an agreement. They both respect each other. They got off the phone, they talked, and said, look, put it this way. I respect you. I respect your lineage. He respects, what's his name? Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. And they're going to proceed with this title. And they did show it off. Ricochet is actually your new national title. He did beat Bobby Lashley, which was shocking. I did not see that coming. I thought this title was made for Bobby Lashley. Instead, they swerved us. With that being pun intended, because Swerve also showed up in the last point of the main event, where Samoa Joe won his title back. So we got a new champion all over the place on that pay-per-view, Full Gear, which was an okay, PLE. It was all right. But look, respect given NWO and AEW right now, they're okay on good terms. There is some feedback saying that NWO has told some of their wrestlers to, hey, don't push towards the AEW too much, let them just do their thing. Because I think some of the wrestlers are still kind of bothered about, the whole national title and stuff and not respecting the lineage and that, hey, we still have this title out. Why are you making the title in the same name? But they're kind of been like, just don't say anything. Just keep it quiet. There is reports out there that, a lot of wrestlers are told just to keep their mouth shut about AEW.
Brian Gerwitz was a writer.
Yeah, you'll be a good one too. So as well, he was also asked recently about Shockwave. Remember Shockwave?
Yeah.
The thing's supposed to be on Fox.
Yeah.
It looked like it was picking up steam because even Swerve Strickland was talking about it in one of those sneaker conventions. And he talked about, we got signed with Fox, SmackDown's gone, Shockwave's coming in, things are looking good, and they swerved them, all right?
Literally, they took his name and said, Swerve.
Well, Shockwave was an NWA pay-per-view.
Okay.
And when they were asked, Tony's like, no, we're done with Shockwave. Like, that's NWA. I told Billy, don't want us to use the name. We respect your decision. We could always look for something else. That's dead. It's not coming back. It's just an idea I had, and at the time, and you know what? It's gone. At the same time, so there'll be no shockwave. That's for
Okay.
sure. Now, does that mean that eventually come with another crazy name in
Yes.
the future? Oh hell yeah, yeah. What would that name be? I don't know. Think about one right now.
Hammer and nails.
Well, he named one Blood and Guts.
That's what I said. Hammer and nails.
Nah. What about if he puts nails in the coffin?
I can see that one.
Or another one. What if he starts using some WWE stuff? Light in the Sand. That's actually a pretty good PLE. Light in the Sand.
But actually, there was a conversation I actually wanted to talk about. How do you feel about what Ariel called them out on?
Like what though?
You're the only combative sport. You're the only combative company that doesn't have a relationship with Saudi Arabia. Rage in the Cage. I like that one. That's a good one. Nice one.
No one has ever using that though.
No, I don't think anyone's ever used Rage in the Cage.
I swear I heard.
I know it's I think it's a professional bull riding one, but not an actual like wrestling one.
I think someone out there. Yeah, I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. But what do you think? I guess you could say for that. I think it's fine. I think it's great. I think that just means they don't want to sell out to Saudi Arabia. But that's the thing. Why would they have a relationship with the same company that has a relationship with WWE that prefers to push WWE over at that point them? Does that make any sense for you to have a good relationship with them? Could they have one possibly in the future? Yes.
Possibly.
But right now it doesn't make any sense because Saudi Arabia just wants WWE to be the main wrestling company out there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense. What do you think though?
I agree with you on that, but honestly, I didn't even think about it until Ariel pointed it out. I'm like, oh, hey, okay. Now, mind you, I don't know if Tony lied when he said, yeah, I never knew that. Who knows about that? Who knows if he actually does pay attention, doesn't? Who knows? However, though, my thing is...
Oh, he pays attention.
I think so. He just had to lie about it.
Yeah.
But at this point, though, I feel that Loki probably may be like a little bit upset because of his, where his lineage, where he comes from. So
I don't think so. I think he's more American than any of that
or
stuff.
his dad.
Yeah, I think he's more. Even his dad is more American, dude.
Now,
I think they're all kind of like, yeah, they don't really care that much. Dude, they have.
at this point, though, I would not team up with Saudi and just keep it here, and that's going to drive more to you right now. Crimson Clash, Steel and Glass. Ha!
I like Steel and Glass.
I like Steel and Glass.
Crimson Glass also is a pretty good one. I like those names. Yeah, maybe we should start writing our own wrestling program here and start
down. We gotta get BB with Nick in order for us to do this, man. Because he'll come with the awesome names.
He'll be one of our riders.
I'm okay with that.
Maybe we'll get picked up from AEW or WWE because they both need it right now. Overall, it's a solid. See, here's the thing, man. How the hell we went from Bret Hart to back to Tony Khan and all this?
Because I forgot to bring that up.
All right, but either way, it's all good.
And Brett's gonna come out with another interview like a month and a half and complain about somebody else.
I'd rather TNA to pick us up. TNA's suffering too right now. Ever since the merger, for me, ever since ever since the business relationship with WWE, I just feel like they kind of lost their touch too.
Henry finally signed.
Yeah, but I mean,
We saw it
besides
coming.
the gimmick, what is he really gonna do?
Just a gimmick.
Does that mean anything? I mean, look, I like his gimmick. Don't get me wrong, but he's not gonna do much besides win a mid-card title.
Yeah, probably.
And he had a lot of potential.
There's so much potential. He's so talented. So talented.
He's just more of a joke at this point.
Charismatic, everything. But you could tell when they had Randy Orton doing his thing, it's like, yeah, you're just a joke to WWE.
Exactly. That's the thing. And I don't know. I like Joe Henry. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just don't think he's going to go far in WWE.
No.
I'd rather have us pick TNA, and then he says also even
AAA.
AAA would be nice, especially their modern day version of Triple H. I actually like the way they're going with that, programming. So like the old Triple H was kind of a shit show. That's what I remembered. Their Triple Mania was kind of like, once in a while we'll get a good one, once in a while we'll get a horrible one. So this whole partnership, I do agree with AAA. I think this was the best for business decision. They really didn't need the whole revamp. Definitely a modernized version of the program that they're trying to get right now. Where did
Almost go after that appearance of Miniman.
back to Japan?
Yeah.
He's been wrestling in Japan for quite a while, and I'm sure he went back to Japan after this. If we're ever going to see him back in the States anytime soon, maybe for the Royal Rumble.
Maybe the contract's up.
Could be. I think in the Rumble he'll be back. I think they're going to have a little repeat with Mini Man.
Maybe it'd be funny if they do.
Yeah, I think they will. I think this was not a one-off. This is definitely going to happen back in the Rumble. Maybe that point Mini Man counts as half an entrance.
Maybe it could be the 31st and a half, the 31st and a half, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Bobby doesn't even count as an entry. He just comes in just to distract almost and then runs away.
It'll be Mini Man, and then the other half would be John Cena tonight.
Yeah.
The half. They make one half
Mini
for
Man
the other
versus
half.
John Wiener.
Yep. That's funny as hell. So put it this way. Let's talk about Bret Hart still, because we got a lot of interesting things that Bret Hart did say. All right. Look, the main one we want to discuss is this. Bret Hart did say he's for sure thinks that something went down between Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
All righty. The miserable Hart. Look, man, I'm not gonna lie. Look, the thing is this. I like Bret. Maybe I have I think it's the age. I think the man's old. The man, he's still bitter. About little things in wrestling. Look, the man got screwed over. Let's put it this way. The man's career was great, and he did get screwed over a lot.
You know what? To quote what they said, Bret screwed Bret.
Yeah, fuck off, man. Nah. Look, whatever you like to think, if you think he's miserable, I can't disagree. I personally think that
I think he's upset and mad, and I'm not gonna lie, a little bitter.
he's a little bitter. He's a little upset how things played out. But do you think this quote, though, he did say that when, Shawn lost his quote unquote smile, and he did see Vince crying in the background for him. Do you think, look, there's been rumors back then. Bret probably wakes up in the morning and says, I bet that lazy Bill Goldberg is still sleeping. Yeah, I believe this shit. Hey, man, I don't disagree with him about Bill. Bill is just as bitter as Bret, though.
But Bill is more bitter, though. Yeah, bitter, Bret, bitter, Bill.
But put it this way. Bret at least has backup on his resume for him to be bitter. Goldberg, on the other hand, got handed things. And for some reason, he still wants to be more bitter.
He didn't get his goodbye the way he was supposed to. 7 months of build-up. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Greatest streak of all time. Second best because Asuka.
I think Asuka still has a better streak.
She did. She does. She actually holds that.
Look, back to the real question, man. What do you think of all this? There was rumors back in the day that,
there still is rumors. It's not back in the day. It still is.
Well, that Shawn did do some sexual favors in order to get ahead of you, Look, man. Look. I'm going to just say something. You never know. Because there was a promo where Bret did say, and look, I'm not homophobic. I have few friends that are roll that way. It's okay. If that's your sexual orientation, all that stuff, it's okay with me. I'm not homophobic. But there was a promo where Bret did call HBK and Triple H homos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he did mention some jabs. And if you remember correctly, I think it was Triple H that got inducted, right? And there was a kiss that they gave each other. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
They gave each other a peck. No, it's on video. It was quick. They gave each other a peck in the mouth, and they kind of just like when they went in, you could tell. I don't think that's fake. I think that's 100% out there. And because I remember they were rolling the promo plus that. And this is what all got together. Look, could have been some stuff. I don't know, man. That's up to you guys to decide. But does this not create some controversy today when you first heard it?
So again, I'm an HBK fan. I'll tell you this. There was a time where Shawn said I think to a dude or to somebody and gave like the gesture. And it was like, why are you doing it so perfect? Like, why are you doing it just so like perfect? Like you've actually practiced this. A lot of people would question that. So it's just, again, it's not rumors. I feel like it's just we're waiting for Shawn to submit. Yeah, it happened. Had to get ahead.
Do I think he does personally, if that's the case, I don't know. Sean may never done none of that. All right, so I'm not fully saying that Sean did it or anything. I don't think he will though. It was a different time, and I don't think at the time it wasn't accepted like it is today. But look, it's just funny that Brett finally comes out with all this info. It's just crazy. It makes you think. It re-sparked that rumor because people are talking about it now more than ever. People are probably going to go back to that Hall of Fame induction, pecked on the cheek type of thing. And it goes back to Vince being the way he is, crazy, manipulative. So here's the thing. That's why it falls in line, because Vince is manipulated. Vince does some crazy shit. Does this not look like something Vince would try to impose his will and power? Now, do I think Vince, did it? Nah, I don't know. No one's ever going to know. It's between two guys, really, Vince and Sean. I don't think they're going to say anything, because for them to come out and say we didn't do anything, it makes it more suspicious. Best thing is just to ignore it, I guess, at this point, because it's Bret Hart too. People do label him as bitter and miserable.
Yeah.
So I think it's just best to leave it as it is at this point.
If it was somebody else, then it's a different conversation. But since it is Bret, just leave it alone.
He also threw jabs at Hulk Hogan still. At this comment, Hogan's dead, man. At the same time, he did throw some jabs at Hogan.
Bret Hart is always doing whatever he can to stay in the limelight.
Can't disagree, can't agree. Look, man, I just like Bret. I have a soft spot for Bret. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't know. I enjoy his comments, man. I really enjoy his interviews. It's always hilarious. Whenever he gets to talk, I love to listen to the guy. Look, in the end of the day, for me, he has a great aspect of wrestling, and I love it, and I just don't know.
Stu Hart really taught him a lot, man. Stu Hart really taught him so much.
Yeah, honestly.
Bret has been through so much, dude, honestly, unfortunately, in his life.
He is a great example of who you do not want to become when you get older. I mean, look, man, you say that now, but once you get to his age, we might start making some story up, man. Like in about 20 years, we might be the same way, man. Nah, I'll be like this. Look, man, you think Seth Rollins did anything with Papa H? You'll be starting talking like that. It's the age. Look, it's the age. Man is up there in age. The man is still bitter, yes. I mean, look, he goes on these interviews. He gets paid. I don't think he's making it up, though. One thing about Bret is I don't see the guy making anything up. Now, am I saying, is the rumor true? I don't think it's also not true. I also don't think it is true. The point is, I do think he believes it. So if you get my point, it's not true. It may not be a lie, but he does believe this happened. He's always been consistent with his stories too. So when he does say something, it's because he does believe in it. And he's always been consistent with his stories. It's hard to find a Bret Hart story that he contradicts himself because there's not that many.
That's true.
He's always repeating the same stuff. If it's fuck Bill Goldberg 20 years ago, it's still fuck Goldberg to this day.
Literally.
Same story, same thing. It's just never changing something.
Airing dirty laundry in public is always a bad look to look in the mirror. I mean, that is true. That is very true.
Yeah, but Matt Riddle says some crazier shit, especially with like AJ Lee and CM Punk.
Oh, God.
That was just kind of complete left field compared to Bret Hart, but who might have said,
Yeah.
Overall, what do you think? Bret Hart, do you think this is going to be the craziest thing yet, or we still got another one?
We still got another one to come. Matt Riddle will probably learn from his hero, Bret Hart.
Hey, man, I think Matt Riddle learned from his hero. I don't think it's Bret Hart, bro. You think Matt Riddle's a Bret Hart fan?
I know he's not a Goldberg fan.
He's not a Goldberg fan. He doesn't like Brock Lesnar. I don't think he's a Bret Hart fan. Who the fuck is this guy even like? He's more of an MMA guy. So who you got? You're Mr. MMA over here. You probably know more than I do.
I was a crazy guy from probably Ken Shamrock, man, because that guy went crazy as well.
He went crazy?
Yeah.
It could be. And then Matt Riddle is a Matt Riddle fan.
That's true.
He's his own fucking fan. Yes, I give him that. He's the biggest fan of it. He's the biggest mark for himself. But overall, dude, I think this is not the last we're gonna hear about Bret. I think there's more to continue. I did want to speak on this. Shout out to K Dog, Conan.
Hold up the interview.
Well, nah. So put it this way: I want to talk about this. Is that AJ Styles did say that selling is a lost art in the industry right now.
It is.
So you're 100% agree with this. And he admits it himself that even I don't do the best job on selling sometimes, which I think he does a phenomenal job. I think he's one of the best sellers in the industry. I think it's him. I think it's Roman Reigns. And I also think it's JD McDonough.
JD McDonough knows how to sell the hell out of
Yeah.
any movie put him on to sell.
Yeah, I think he's one of the most underrated sellers that doesn't get enough credit just because he's like, way below the ranks compared to these guys.
And on top of that, just super in the light of the Judgment Day.
Undertaker was a great seller. I'll give him that. Undertaker was a great seller for his time.
Shawn Michaels was a comedic seller.
Yeah, I mean,
I said comedic.
Comedic, yeah.
Comedic seller. I said comedic.
I think Austin, before he got injured, was a good seller too.
The best seller to me was Rock. To this day, The Rock, hands down, is the best seller.
Yeah, I could say.
Randy Orton is the next GOAT for selling. Randy Orton has sold a lot of moves just perfectly.
I don't know about GOAT, but I do agree.
I'm saying GOAT would be, of course, The Rock. With the way he would always sell the stunner, always having to flip himself over and everything the way he did. But it was like,
don't you think it was over the top though?
No, it was funny. It was great. It was like made it seem like okay, cool. Like it really did hurt him because there was like the ones that didn't hurt him, he was going to kick out, was where he just had like a regular reaction. But when he did the whole flip and everything, it was like, oh yeah, he got him. That's it. It's over.
I don't know, man. I always thought it was over the top. Personally, me, I thought to me, AJ was always my go-to selling. When Hulk Hogan was
asked to sell, he would say, "Doesn't work for me, brother."
He didn't understand that. That's the thing. It was in his vocabulary, brother. He's like, "What's that?" They ask him, "Hey, can you sell for us?" Sell. Nah, brother, I'm buying. We're talking about selling, man. There was no such thing as selling for Hulk Hogan. There really wasn't. To me, it was AJ. For you, it was The Rock. I guess it all depends on how you see it. But I do agree that, yes, selling these days, everybody's there for the pop. Everybody's there for the quick move sets, Let's get in, banger, 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 but we don't sell. And I think when Brett was talking about the punches not looking real, I think Sheamus got caught on the crossfire, but I don't blame this on Sheamus. I blame it more on a lot of other wrestlers these days. They can't throw a punch.
No.
Yeah, I was watching a couple of matches, from WWE and AEW, and I do agree they do not know how to sell a punch at all. They're looking for the quick, high flying, movesets and stuff.
Because they're so focused on the next thing to do.
They're not pop.
They're not focused on like the cool. Let's just have two guys in the middle, just boo, yay, and it's like those moments are now so special to old fans like us because it's like, man, I remember when this was and stuff. Like, yeah, man, this is like what really hyped you up. It's just like giving it all and just we're bam, bam against each other. A couple things. You guys remember Jay Uso versus Jimmy Uso? Just a bunch of super kicks.
Boring.
Super boring for the WrestleMania match. I agree that when watching Bret Hart matches, he was ahead of his time. He made everything look real. He really did. He really, really did.
And that's the thing. Bret Hart's also one of the guys that are probably the best seller in the industry.
Yeah.
These guys just knew what to do. They, like I said, I think Austin, before he got injured, was one of the best sellers too. The injury kind of prevented him to sell more because of his neck injury. But like, it is a lost art. It is unfortunate. Like you said, they're looking for the next, move. They're looking for the next pop. They just want something that wows the crowd, but they don't figure out, like you said.
They don't let it simmer. They don't let it simmer.
Not no more.
Sorry, I was gonna cut you off one thing, dude. Yeah. It's like okay. I think it was a Jey Uso match. He was punching and he was like going back and forth, and he wanted to do a super kick, and it was supposed to be a block, punch, block, super kick. But instead he goes punch and then about to go to super kick where the guy's like it's still in midair, like, dude, it was me supposed to punch you. It's like, that's what I'm trying to say, dude. Like, they're just so like we haven't discussed it, the cheap pop, the quick little or yeet moment. It's like, dude, let the match simmer. That's what made a 5-star match.
No, I agree. I was watching Saturday night's main event. The first couple of ones that first came out in the 80s with Hulk Hogan and main eventing and all this. And I remember watching some of these matches and I'm like, damn, man, like They don't do these moves anymore.
No.
They don't do the backdrop as often. They don't do the suplex like the old school way, body slams, spine busters.
Clothesline even.
Yeah, dude, they just
A simple move like a clothesline.
they don't sell neck breakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't do this as often. Like it's all gone. Like a lot of these movesets are gone. And it's just like we went from this to that. Ain't nothing wrong with the acrobat of wrestling. I do love it. Don't get me wrong. But I think we lost the art of the old school wrestling, and we got this acrobat new form of it. And it's great, but sometimes it's nicer to tell a story, to let it simmer, to sell some things, sell the let's put it this way. Imagine
It's all the effects of the match.
yes, you go for the leg in the beginning of the match, the leg is still a factor. A lot of times they go for the leg, nothing ever happened. They walk in 2 legs and that's it. They don't even sell it by the end of the match. Like, okay, we're good, let's go. Off to the next one. It just seems so dumb nowadays. It seems so dumbed down and watered down what it used to be, what it could be today.
This is why I'll tell you one thing. This is why I cherish a Gunther match. Gunther lets it simmer.
Gunther lets it simmer, but sometimes his opponents don't.
It's when he finds the right opponent that he'll let you could get the simmer.
Man, that's the issue though. It's getting harder to find the right opponent.
Literally.
So that's another issue, man. You might have a Gunther, but you're not gonna have another Gunther on the other side. You'll have someone else.
Jey Uso.
I mean, look, I ain't gonna mention any names. I'll just leave it as it.
Roman Reigns is great at it. We did say that he is. Brock Lesnar is something that's underrated, and that is very true.
Yeah.
It really, really is.
No. Put it this way: Brock Lesnar's selling is great only if he likes you. If he doesn't like you, he won't sell shit to you. We've seen that with John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose. He did not like Moxley, so at WrestleMania he did not sell jack shit for him. But when he likes you, he'll sell to you well. Look at the match between him and AJ Styles. He sold the shit out of that calf crusher. Look at Bryan Danielson versus Brock Lesnar. Probably one of the best matches. Samoa Joe versus Brock. Hell, recently, last week's Raw, when Brock and Roman came out, he sold the shit out of that Superman punch. Like, honestly,
Look
dude.
at Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Honestly, when he likes you, he'll sell for you. Great. What else we got? No sell Jey Uso. Well, no shit. He sells the heat. Well, what are you talking about?
That's it. Brock Lesnar works well with smaller guys.
He does actually. I think some of his best matches came with smaller guys. Hell, I mean, Kurt Angle was a smaller guy, yeah. But honestly, dude, that
John
was
Cena, a smaller guy. Not much smaller, but smaller.
Cena was, dude, that rematch they had in 2012 when he first came back, Cena was just as big as Brock. If you look back to it, this was Super Cena. He was built, dude. He was as built as Brock. Right. Yeah, I think it works better with CM Punk, AJ Styles. Those guys just for some reason. I think it's Brock respects their style. No pun intended. He respects their style a lot and likes the way these guys work. So he's like, I want to be there. I want to sell it. I want to. These guys' level, and he's athletic. So we'll give him credit where credit's. We'll give him credit where credit is due. He doesn't know how to sell what he wants. Yeah. If he doesn't like you, like John Moxley did, and Paul Heyman did admit it too. He didn't like John Moxley, so he'll tell you to go fuck himself. His
biggest opponent up until this point has been the shoes he was wearing when he slipped on the ramp tonight.
That shit was funny, dude. Honestly, I don't know I was watching it and I was like, the hell just happened? He falls, he gets up, and he goes like,
puts the hand on Breaker like, yeah, it's all right, cool, we did it. Let's just walk away.
You could tell that threw him off because even when he got to the ring, he was kind of nervous. Like, I can't believe I just fucking did that. That was the first time I seen Brock very thrown off.
And just unprepared.
Okay, put it this way: do you think this was funny, or you think the time he ripped his pants?
Both of them. I can't even. I would say actually, you know what though? I would say tonight. Here's why. You expect Brock to rip pants. He's a huge animal. He's a beast.
I mean, but you tight ass pants he's been wearing.
But it's not just that though. Well, yes. Okay.
He probably slipped because of those tight pants tonight.
But I was going to sit there and say, though, here's one more thing, though. When have you ever heard Brock fall? Brock is always poised with almost anything he does. So for us to like say we remember Brock slipping, doesn't happen.
But also happened, he rips his pants.
No, that's true.
That's what I'm saying. This is one of his starting to get his memorable moment of the year.
It just get this is the year of the comedic Brock.
Yeah.
Country Brock is here to stay.
Yeah. Well, look, man, he ripped his pants. He fell off today. So what more can we get at this point? It's crazy to see that happen, though. I'm not gonna lie, it was funny, and I told myself this is not supposed to happen.
It wasn't.
But I mean, like I said, it is what it is. Live TV, shit was gonna happen. Shout out to him to actually fix himself up and pretend like, all right, let's just go, guys. Remember when
Brock slipped jumping over the barricade when fighting Roman at SummerSlam 2022?
That's what I was trying to remember. I thought something like this happened. So
yeah,
I guess it's that. I mean, look, man, Brock's a big dude. He's bound to mess himself up for quite a while. Like, it is what it is. It's like, I mean, to me, it's funny though. It's very funny. It's hilarious. The guy plays it off no matter what.
He plays it perfect.
Yeah, it's like, whatever. I don't give a shit. That's literally his attitude. Like, I fucked up. I don't give a shit. Fuck these fans. Look, guys, it's been great tonight. We'll see what happens come Survivor Series. Let's just hope it's a good show. We're gonna be watching, and we're gonna probably do a little review on Monday. But look, it's been a great night. What else we got here, real quick?
He's a heel, so it's cool. BTB with Nick. Honestly, we appreciate the comments, brother.
Yeah.
You really kept us entertained this whole night, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Like and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe, like Nick's been doing. And last but not least, I do want to say, put the little notification on whenever we go live. You'll know when we go live because we don't even know when we're gonna go live sometimes.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next time.
War Games.
Well.